Organizational Behavior and Communications and Chairperson of Alumni Relations Committee at TAPME. And it is my distinct honor to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for this momentous occasion, the TAPME Integrated Program in Management IPM Induction Programme 2026. Today marks the dawn of an extraordinary 5-year journey of our IPM batch of 2026-2031. Launched in 2023, our Integrated Program in Management has rapidly established itself as a landmark course combining foundational excellence with modern management education. Today, we take immense pride in welcoming our 4th batch of IPM students. Over the next 5 years, these young minds will grow, innovate, and transform into responsible global business leaders. On behalf of TAPI Management Institute, a constituent unit of Manipal Academy of Higher Education, MAHE, I extend the heartiest welcome to our new students, proud parents, distinguished leadership, faculty members, and staff of TAPME. Again, before we begin, I may again request everyone to kindly switch off your mobile phones or keep it in the silent mode so that we can uphold the dignity and the decorum of the proceedings. We are truly honored to have with us a distinguished lineup of dignitaries today. Our chief guest for the day, Mr. Anirvan Sen, an illustrious TAPME alumnus from the batch of 1998-2000, who currently serves as the Executive Director, HR Business Partner at UBS. Our Director, Professor Debashish Pradhan, our Dean Academics, Professor Gururaj Kidiur. And joining us as well, we have our respected other senior faculty members, staff, and other members of TAPME community. We thank you all for being part of the significant occasion. To mark the formal commencement of today's ceremony, may I now request our Director, Professor Debashish Pradhan, to kindly escort our chief guest, Mr. Anirvan Sen, and along with Professor Gururaj Kidiur, to the dais for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp. Please. Along with our leadership, I also request 2 of the designated student representatives, Aryavir and Adrida, to step forward and join the dignitaries on the stage to participate in this auspicious lighting ceremony. Light symbolizes knowledge, wisdom, and removal of darkness. As this flame is ignited today, it signifies the transformative 5-year journey of our incoming batch of IPM 2026-2031. May I now request the dignitaries to kindly take their seats on the dais. Thank you, Aryavir and Adrida. Thank you, Mr. Anirvan Sen. Thank you, Professor Debashish Pradhan and Professor Gururaj Kidiur. TAPI Management Institute, popularly known as TAPME, is one of the premier business schools in India with a legacy spanning over 4 decades. Established in 1980 and named after the visionary Sri TAPI, TAPME has consistently been at the forefront of management education. The institute is now renowned for its academic rigor, strong industry interface, and emphasis on ethical and responsible leadership. It holds the prestigious double crown accreditation from AACSB and AMBA AMBA, placing it among an elite group of global business schools. TAPME is a proud constant unit of Manipal Academy of Higher Education, MAHE, a distinguished institution of eminence and one of India's leading academic and research universities. MAHE's multidisciplinary excellence, global collaborations, and commitment to innovation continue to drive academic distinction across its various institutions. To help us understand more about MAHE's rich heritage and vision, we present the MAHE Anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, we take a moment to pay tribute to the extraordinary legacy of our founders who built the very foundation of this institution. We look back with deep respect at Sri Tonse Anant Pai, popularly known as T.A. Pai, a brilliant banker, corporate leader, and statesman. He served our nation at the highest levels as the chairman of Syndicate Bank, chairman of LIC, and Union Minister of Industry and Civil Supplies. Driven by a vision to create world-class managers, he founded this institution in 1980, which was later proudly renamed as T.A. Pai Management Institute in his honor. Conferred the Padma Bhushan in 1972, his legacy lives on through TAPME today as a premier, globally accredited business school. We also honor the legendary Dr. T. Madhavanand Pai, popularly known as the TMA Pai, the visionary founder of the Manipal Group. As a physician, he dedicated his life to fighting the three main ills of society: illiteracy, ill health, and economic insecurity. He transformed a barren hilltop into a vibrant university town of Manipal, pioneering private higher education in India by creating Kasturba Medical College in 1953, Manipal Institute of Technology in 1957. Known as the master institution builder, he was even recognized by Ripley's, believe it or not, for establishing the highest number of educational institutions in a single lifetime, and was awarded Padma Shri in 1972. Together, their enduring passion and commitment to education shaped the ecosystem we thrive in today. Let us now take a moment to look at the screens and the journey through the remarkable lives and legacy of our founders.
Welcome to TA Pai Management Institute, located in the student city of Manipal, Karnataka. Here at the institute, fondly known as TAPME, we take pride at the academic rigor and business knowledge imparted to our students through experiential and relevant learning. We are sure you, the students, are excited about the next 2 years and all that the institute has to offer to you. From the case-based learnings, simulation games, competitions, and many other engagements beyond the four walls of the classroom. We at TAPME seek to promote and raise the standard of management education and to create responsible business leaders of tomorrow. But where did it all start? Who nurtured and created this vision for the institute? Dr. TMA Pai and TAPME's founder, Shri T.A. Pai, built the city and the institute to what it is today with the vision of creating leaders who not only achieve great things, but also resolve to make a difference in society. Dr. Tonse Madhava Anant Pai was one of the architects of modern Karnataka. He was an individual who was affiliated with numerous walks of life, such as banking, insurance, business, education, and healthcare. He was keen on serving the people, keen on transforming and empowering lives through the most basic aspects of social uplifting. He was revolutionary for bringing into the rural tract of Manipal various amenities such as an educational complex, an ultra-modern hospital, small industries, and outstanding banking establishments. In 1925, along with his brother, he set up Syndicate Bank following the motto, "No man is too small for our bank." He struggled for the underprivileged and found avenues to bring changes to their situations. He started a Hindu orphanage during the freedom struggle to house orphan children due to the ongoing nationwide scenario. Dr. TMA Pai established the Kasturba Medical College in 1953 to help provide equal opportunity for all to study medicine. The Manipal Institute of Technology in 1957 was established with a similar agenda and was the first of many more of the same kind. Dr. TMA Pai was passionate about his work and aimed to make a change in the lives of many, something he viewed to be the fulfillment of the vision of the Almighty. He was constantly thinking out of the box and ahead of his time. Dr. TMA Pai believed that a common person has a lot of common sense, and it is transforming this into productive work that helps build society and assists humankind, which is visible in his efforts to transform the barren land of Manupala into the exciting Manipal University Township that it is today. He has set the path of social responsibility on which we are continuing our journey. Shri Tonse Anant Pai was the nephew of Dr. TMA Pai and was just as revolutionary and thoughtful as his uncle. One to carry on his legacy, Mr. T.A. Pai was a thinker with a unique personality. Mr. T.A. Pai began his career as a deputy manager in Syndicate Bank, rising to the position of general manager and then managing director by 1962. Under his stewardship, the bank was credited with several achievements. He was appointed as the first chairman of the Food Corporation of India and later appointed as the chairman of the Life Insurance Corporation of India, where he used his unique ideas to develop social infrastructure for the people. As an active political worker, Mr. T.A. Pai was a member of several state and central committees. He was involved in leading projects in diverse sectors such as electricity, education, agriculture, and bank management. In 1972, he was appointed as the Minister of Railways. His innovative and exemplary work helped the industry by leaps and bounds. He was awarded the Padma Bhushan in the same year in appreciation for his outstanding performance. Under his leadership as the head of the Ministry of Heavy Industries, 15 public sector enterprises did very well, practically doubling the previous year's output. As the Minister of Industry and Civil Supplies, he was instrumental in revising the industrial licensing policy and encouraging investment in socially desirable sectors of industry. He founded the Manipal Institute of Management in 1980, which was later renamed as TAPME. Mr. T.A. Pai's foresight and enlightened leadership paved the way for unprecedented progress in various industries. He used his vast knowledge to change the Indian economic situation in a positive manner. For him, the people he was solving issues for were not anonymous entities, but in fact very real people with complex problems and lives. He had a humanistic outlook and viewed every situation as an opportunity to create value for others. Dr. T.A. Pai and Sri T.A. Pai were involved in various fields such as infrastructure, finance, agriculture, insurance, culture, education, and health, all of these which have been united by management. This same unified concept has been carried through the years to build T.A. Pai Management Institute into what it is today. TAPME is accredited with AMBA and is one of the only 7 schools in India with AACSB accreditations. These distinguished recognitions are a testament to the vision of our founder and bear witness to the quality of business knowledge provided at the institute. As we progress into 2022, the centenary marker for Sri T.A. Pai's birth anniversary, we welcome you to the Center of Great Learning, where his ideals and values are imparted in everyday learning. With our mission to excel in postgraduate management education, research, and practice, we lay the groundwork for the holistic development of our students by nurturing and developing industry-relevant skills and fostering continuous learning. Once again, we welcome you to this student-centric institution, where we seek to enable the business leaders of tomorrow.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished academic leader, Professor Debashish Pradhan, Director of T.A. Pai Management Institute, Manipal. Dr. Debashish Pradhan served as a Professor of Marketing at XLRI Jamshedpur from 2006 until his appointment at TAPME. A graduate of Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar, and the Institute of Rural Management, Anand, IRMA, he has held several academic leadership positions, including Associate Dean, Executive Education, and Chairperson of the Department of Marketing for 2 terms. He also contributes to higher education governance through his service on academic boards of Central University of Jharkhand and Xavier University as a member of Strategic Academic Advisory Board and on the Academic Council of IRMA, Anand. With over 2 decades of academic experience, and a distinguished publication record comprising more than 30 articles in leading Tier A and A-star journals, including Psychology and Marketing, European Journal of Marketing, Journal of Advertising, Journal of Business Research, Journal of Consumer Affairs, International Marketing Review, Journal of Brand Management, Journal of Consumer Behavior, International Journal of Retail and Distribution Management, Marketing Intelligence and Planning, to name a few. He brings subject matter expertise, academic leadership experience, and editorial acumen. His research lies at the intersection of technology and consumer well-being, consumer brand-machine interaction, influencer marketing and brand activism, and consumer engagement, addressing issues central to advancing inclusive and globally relevant consumer research. Additionally, He serves as the editor-in-chief of Management and Labor Studies, a 50-year-old management journal published by SAGE. He also serves as area editor for Humanities and Social Science Communications published by Springer Nature. Recently, he co-edited special issues of Journal of Consumer Affairs and Electronic Markets. In addition, he serves as a reviewer for several leading journals in marketing and management. Professor Pradhan has delivered research talks at leading universities across the globe, including the University of Sydney, Singapore Management University, University of Michigan, University of Cologne, Rice University, London Business School, Johns Hopkins University, University of Rome, University of Almeria, and University of Leeds, among others. Over the past 2 decades, he has also trained senior executives from numerous public sector undertakings and leading private sector organizations. Dr. Pradhan has supervised more than a dozen research scholars, many of whom now hold faculty positions at Indian Institute of Management, IIMs, and Indian Institute of Technology, IITs, and leading universities in Europe. Through his extensive academic network spanning Asia, Europe, Australia, and North America, and his growing engagement with global consumer psychology and anti-consumption academic communities such as the Society of Consumer Psychology and the International Center for Anti-Consumption Research, he actively contributes to shaping agendas relevant to the Global South. I now invite Professor Debashish Pradhan to kindly deliver the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Distinguished Chief Guest, Mr. Anirvan Sen, Executive Director, HR Business Partner, UBS, respected Vice Chancellor, respected Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Madhuvi Raghavan, who are joined online, respected Pro Vice Chancellor of Science and Technology, Health Sciences, and other disciplines, university officials, respected heads of institutions of Manipal University, members of the media, Dean Professor Gururaj Kidur, my faculty colleagues here, and most importantly, our new students. I feel privileged and honored to be here to welcome you all to the next batch of Integrated Program in Management 2026-31. It's a wonderful occasion that you are here together to welcome you. I know it's such a hard job, it's a difficult task to be here, and the competition was tough, and you have gone through several rounds of rigorous tests and grueling processes through which you have come to this place. So I must congratulate you while welcoming you to this hallowed portals of the school. So this is a momentous occasion for us when we welcome our next batch of IPM. This is one of our flagship programs, and we look forward to expanding this program in a big way in the years to come. And that also tells a lot about the importance we attach to this program. This has been one of our major programs, as I just told you, and therefore we have one of our best and most distinguished alumni here today with us to speak to you, to deliver the address on what it means to be in TAPMI. And TAPMI has always been inspirational. TAPMI has always been one of the schools I'm always really held in deep respect. And here today, we are welcoming you. So the institution actually represents several such values, the ethos, and it has a rich legacy. And I must take you through to really make you familiar with the culture of TAPMI. So let me take you through a small presentation, a brief presentation, through which I'll expose you to the values, the ethos, and what we really stand for. Play the presentation. So we just have looked at our inception. The genesis of this particular school is no mean school. It's one of the top schools of India. As you know, it's one of the very few schools which has started in the year 1980, when people couldn't even think of business management education. And there was this extraordinary man called Mr. T.A. Pai who could think of setting up an institution for business management education. And there are only a handful of management schools which are run by Government of India, which are all proud by Government of India, sustained by Government of India, and here there is a transformative thinker who could actually think of, conceptualize a school which we are a part of. And we are so proud to be part of, right? And this man was just not a thinker, he was a visionary, and he was a person who could actually build a nation. And that's why we call him a nation builder. And we have already seen what Mr. T.A. Pai has done. After his education, he joined Syndicate Bank, then he headed Food Corporation India as a chairman. He also was a chairman of Life Insurance Corporation of India, and then he went into be a union minister. And he was also awarded Padma Bhushan for his distinguished service and contribution to the nation building in the years. And that speaks volumes about the person's vision. And therefore, it's a school which has been sort of envisioned by a person who could think of management education at that point in time. So we are a part of a very rich legacy, and you are also part of a school through which thousands of students, thousands of bright minds have really gone through. There's a hallowed portals that they have really gone through in the years. So I'm just showing you pictures of the school where it began in the year 1980. So it looked like this. Of course, you can still see it somewhere in Manipal. It's very much there. Part of the building is there. And this is how it started in the year 1980. And this is where we are. So a lot of transformation. We shifted to this campus, the new campus, which was built in the year 2009. And we can see the spectacular campus, the beautiful campus, which is lush green at this moment because of the monsoon. And even without monsoon, it always remains green and beautiful. So what exactly TAPME, and what are the features, and what do we really stand for? TAPME is always known to be an authentic school and institution. Authenticity is always something that we have valued a lot. We don't really tell things which are not true. And this is something which is very hallmark of T.A. Pai Management School, right? Or T.A. Pai Management Institute. We, at the same time, have also been bold enough to really tell the truth, not to shy away from telling the truth. We've always stood the ground and shared the things which really means a lot, which matters to all our stakeholders. We have valued a lot the engagement policy we have with the community around us. So we just don't manage our immediate stakeholders. We also care about the stakeholders who are around us, the community around us. We have taken many initiatives which are about our community, who also should be benefiting out of our engagement with the kind of stakeholders here. We've always been a student-centric school. That also is something that we're very proud of. We have always been very particular about what the students will be needing, and it's mostly about the pedagogy, it's about the life they have, it's about what they really learn from this stay over here for the next 5 years. So we've always been very student-centric, and therefore everything that really flows out of it is very, very contemporary. So we understand that the students would perhaps value more what really has a kind of interface with technology, and therefore our curriculum has always been very contemporary. We always have been a very inclusive school. We value diversity, we value equity. So these are also some of these key characteristics of TAPME. We have been continuously revising and reviewing our curriculum, which has always remained contemporary. So that is why every year we go through a review process where the faculty members come together area-wise, they look at the courses, they look at what could be added, what could really be changed. So that way it remains contemporary even now. So that is something that we are very proud to share. We are also very proud to really say that we are a very vibrant alumni network, and the alumni network actually is one which comprises the who's who of the business world today, and even other sectors. And one of the very shining examples we have on the stage today, Mr. Sen, who also represents such our brightest alumni, which we're really proud to have. We offer great career opportunities for our students, and that's something that we have seen over the years. An IPM program, which we have started recently, and which are very serious about, we can actually see that we see very bright careers ahead of them. And therefore, we also would really tell you that there is a bright career waiting for you, and you are just to embrace it. Just that to do all the things that is required for you to do while you are there on the campus for the next 5 years. We always have a global mindset. That's also quite evident in the things that we do, the international affiliations we have, the kind of accreditation we have, the kind of network we have. So all of that really indicates that we really promise a global mindset through all our curriculum. And the courses that we teach has always been filled with global mindset, and we want to inculcate this global mindset in you when you're through this course. We also make leaders. We don't teach leadership, we actually make leaders. And again, we have seen so many of our alumni who have been leading corporations of India and different parts of the world. So therefore, this is also something that you must see, that we are here to make you leaders, and you are the ones who have been chosen few to be here in this program, right? So this is something that we are very serious about, and we are here to make leaders, and you're the ones who will be the leaders of the future. We also inculcate in our students an entrepreneurial spirit, which is again evidenced by numerous entrepreneurs that have really gone through the hallowed portals of this school. Many of the entrepreneurs today have really graduated from this school. Our mission has been to excel in management, education, research, and practice. That means we are not only here to do research or do training, we also preach, we do whatever we really talk, we walk the talk. And that's what we say, that there is an integration, there is a confluence of education, research, and practice. So we practice through our numerous training programs, consulting programs. We teach them inside the classroom, and we teach what we really get from our research. So all those insights that we draw from our research are really used in our teaching. And our values represent excellence, trust, honesty, innovation, commitment, and we are always student-centric. So once you're a part of the school, and once you're part of these hallowed portals of the school, you realize that we actually practice most of the things through our teaching, through the pedagogy that we use, through the activities that you undertake, and numerous such exercises you'd be an integral part of. Our core offerings, when it comes to the undergraduate programs, we have the IPM, which we are here to welcome you for. We also have a BBA program, which is offered from TAPMI Bangalore. And when you have the MBA, the PGP programs, we have an MBA, which is core MBA program, MBA Banking and Finance, which you also are a leader in. We also do a wonderful job when it comes to MBA Marketing Management program. We also offer MBA Human Resource Management. You offer an MBA in International Business. And you also offer an MBA program, which is very timely, which is very contemporary, is that MBA in Artificial Intelligence and Data Sciences. So TAPMI, when you look at what it is and what sort of distinctions it has and why it is a distinguished school and why we're so proud of this school. Now, it has a legacy of more than 40 years. How many Indian schools can really proud to say this? I don't think many would have really weathered the storm and been a part of this particular genre, this particular kind of group of schools which have really been there for the last 40 years. We, in fact, started long before, and many IIMs actually could think of management education. It's a part of a select group of business schools in India to be double crowned. And it's one of the first base schools in India to be crowned AACSB. And AACSB is a very hallmark of quality education, and TAPMI, one of the first, much before the government-run B schools, could actually get accredited to AACSB. We are trying for the third one, which is EQUIS, which will make us a triple crown business school. There'll be very handful, I mean, I think only 3 or 4 schools in India today which actually could claim to have all the 3 crowns. And we are in the process of getting into all the 3 crowns. We are trying to apply for EQUIS soon. We are also the PRME champions 2026. That's also kind of a very clear measure of our goals and our global vision. You've been ranked 39 now by National Institution Ranking Framework. We have improved our position over the years, and we are very confident to make it a part of the top 20 schools in a few years from now. And we have been working really hard towards that. We are diligently working towards it. And I hope we would actually gain a rank within the first 20. But it's really difficult because there are also the government schools, and the ranking system is something wherein we need to really look at several factors, and we are trying our best to be in the top schools. We are already one of the top schools, but with just that, we want to improve our position. We have a beautiful, sprawling 44-acre campus. I think it's one of the most beautiful campuses that we find in any part of India. It's state-of-the-art facilities that you get in technology and your classrooms, the residential facilities. You would have always seen this when you stay in your hostels and when you're part of the classrooms. So in a long time, it's not just 2 years. Like MBA students, you have 5 years. So you can actually explore a lot, and you have a lot more to really see what our regular MBA students can even think of. So you have a lot more to gain, and definitely you are looking forward to that. So faculty are second to none. They are terrific faculty members, very competent, and many of them are actually PhDs from top Indian institutions, universities, and many of them are from globally acclaimed foreign B schools also. In the last 1 week, we have rolled out offers to 2 international faculty members. In the last 1 month, we have also recruited 1 faculty member who's already joined us. So that also clearly shows us how exactly we are serious about our vision and to make our school a globally renowned school. We have industry-savvy faculty members who blend their learnings from the industry, their experience that have gathered from the industry into the classroom teaching. They are very research-oriented, which of course would be kind of bringing to the classroom. They use several tools, the practical teaching methods, by using case studies, simulations, role plays, live projects, action learning projects, and so on. So I think the list is endless. I think once you go in the class, go inside the classroom, you could see how seamlessly they actually integrate different methods to tell you the stories and ensure that you learn and you really take the best out of the classroom. You've always been student-focused. We're really known for the mentorship that you offer in TAPME. And we also offer personalized guidance. Each faculty would be responsible for your growth, your intellectual progress, and rest assured, once you're a part of the classroom, they'll be rigorous, but you'd be having a wonderful journey, an exciting journey through which many of our faculty colleagues would be really helping you achieving your best to realizing your potential. These are some of these TAPME graduate attributes that we have been seeing over the years, and it's not something which is just there in the slide, but we have seen that they're highly tech-savvy. They actually are really good in problem solving, taking initiatives, and leading the group, leading different in difficult situations, challenging situations. They have exhibited a global mindset, is also through our education, through the kind of pedagogy that we've used in the classrooms. They have also exhibited a lot of cultural awareness. They also exhibit ethical value and their kind of professionalism when they really take up their projects, when they really deal with the stakeholders outside the classroom, because you'd be taking up several projects. You'd be working on several live projects during the next 5 years. And many times we have seen that the students have really taken it on themselves to lead and sort of challenge and sort of solve challenging problems by exhibiting exemplary professionalism. Right? So that is why we're saying that these are some of these shining examples of the attributes that you see in our students. They also exhibit a high degree of social responsibility. They are highly conscious. They are very committed to the social setting, the ecosystem around us, and their lifelong learners. So that's something that really sort of captures the overall set of attributes of our graduates. So there are a lot that is waiting for you. You could be part of these different groups. You could be part of committees which are in our core programs, in our area level programs, in our co-curricular level committees, and other committees, right? So once you're part of it, you realize I'm not really expanding on them. There are certain things I'll definitely talk about individually. Coming to executive education, this is something I'm very proud of, because all of that we do with our executive training is something that comes to the classrooms directly, because our faculty members who are the leaders in executive education, who have been very well trained in delivering executive education programs, have also been known to bring these learnings to the classroom. Because once you see them, we actually see that such a vibrant program and portfolio we have conducted close to 19 programs, and more of them, and we had trained more than 500 participants in the last 1 year. And we have also had 6 faculty development programs. That also tells a lot about what we have been doing to our other peers, the schools which are really not having the facilities and they do not have access to the modern gadgets and the latest pedagogy. So we are training them to be better teachers. We have also been running some of the most successful leadership programs, future leadership programs, and some of them are in coordination with the Government of India. It also shows the trust the government has in us to deliver these leadership programs. We are focusing a lot on internationalization, and you'd actually see what we have done in the past few years under the aegis of MAHE, which is Manipal Academy of Higher Education. We have close to 250 MOUs which have been signed with foreign universities and institutions which are already a part of. And our partner institutions are spread across Americas, Europe, Australia, Asia, Africa, and we are trying to build on this. Currently, TAPME, individually, apart from these networks that the university has, we have very active partnerships with close to 15 different universities, and we are also working on 21 new such MOUs. And these are some of these MOUs which are going to help you in future, because this will offer you opportunity to go to the universities and be trained there for a year or maybe a semester and come back. Our MOUs focus on student and faculty exchange, which is definitely part of what you'd be thinking of. It's also about the research collaborations and the joint program developments. So we are also planning to run several joint offerings with foreign universities, and where the universities are the leaders in those particular programs. Maybe in some programs, data science is one of the areas where the university is a leader, global leader, and we want to partner with them to run these programs and offer the benefits to our students. So we are working on them, and in the year, I'm very happy to announce and share this, that 4 TAPME students have completed the semester exchange program the last year in 2 leading schools, EDHEC and Rennes in France, and 10 TAPME students have been shortlisted for the next couple of years. And there's time for you. I think you can prepare yourself. You can really choose the schools you want to go, but I'll tell you that this is something which is going to be a game changer for us, and we are really going serious about the new offerings that you have, and also the new collaborations you can build over the years. So these are some of the schools that we have entered into partnerships with. EDHEC Business School, Rennes in France. We have also Hansa. We have the Technology University of Dublin. We also have a tie-up with Southampton, University of Akron in USA, Max Planck, Montpellier. You have also Deakin University in Australia. So we really are trying to sign such agreements and make it available to our students who can really choose based on their area of interest and the common interest, and can really make the most of it. So we have several key events that you'll be part of, and I'm very happy to share some of these highlights. Have you heard of BrandScan? So BrandScan actually is one of the leading, it's an institution itself. It has a 33-year-old legacy. It was started by our students 33 years ago. And it really works on projects, and which are all based on the requirements of the companies, which are mostly the live projects, where we study consumer perception, the attitude, the consumer lifestyle preferences, customer loyalty, competitor analysis, benchmarking, price sensitivity analysis, and so on. So the list is endless. The only point is that you have an opportunity to be part of it. And these are the projects wherein you actually learn firsthand what the companies are really wanting to resolve, what are the crises, and how you can help them in sort of resolving some of the live existing crises. So this is a famous event that you also might have heard of, Quiz on the Beach, that you are known for. I think this is something that I just mentioned briefly, the alumni network that you have, close to 9,000 active members, which always are a part of our alumni network. The last week marked kind of presence of several of our alumni chapter presidents here on the campus, who are here to explore opportunities of collaborations, who help us in identifying new opportunities for global collaborations, placement processes, training programs, and executive education. And so you are going to join this vibrant community, and I must congratulate you on joining this, and I hope you successfully complete this program to formally join the alumni network. So they're very, very engaged with our group, with the school, and this is something that we're really proud of, and I'm sure you would actually get the most and the maximum benefit from our alumni network. So these are some of the pictures from our alumni meets. Last year, we had it in different parts of the country, as well as outside India. We had it in Dubai, we had it in USA, in Canada, in Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, to name a few. We have chapters in all those cities and their chapter presidents, and there is a vibrant community in each one of these cities who actually takes the responsibility of organizing it and connecting our alumni network, in building this network, and also adding the new members who really graduate from our school. Life at TAPME has always been exciting, and I think there's just a video which tells you what it is. I think we lost. Yeah. Yeah, this one. This is a video, I guess. Does it excite you? So with this, I conclude this speech, and I welcome you with a lot of pleasure to a spectacular campus of a world-class institution. The air is filled with a lot of oxygen, and the classrooms are filled with wisdom and insights. And I'm sure we'll have an exciting and enlightening journey over the next 5 years. I welcome you with this happiness, and I'm sure you have a wonderful stay, a pleasant stay here, which will be very healthy as well. Right? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Debashish Pradhan, for those inspiring words and for setting a compelling vision of academic rigor for our incoming batch. Thank you so much, sir. Every incoming batch brings its own unique energy, diversity, and talent. To share the demographic blueprint and the profile of the incoming IPM batch of 2026, I now invite Professor Santushti Gupta, co-chairperson of admissions.
Good morning, everyone, distinguished guests, respected Pro Vice Chancellor, Director, esteemed faculty members, staff members, proud parents, and our incoming IPM students. It's my privilege as co-chairperson's admissions to introduce the newest members of our TAPME family, the incoming IPM batch of 2026. Every admission cycle is about identifying young individuals with the curiosity, commitment, and the potential to thrive in a challenging academic environment. Today, I have the pleasure of presenting the remarkable cohort that will be starting that journey with us. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the dedicated team behind this admission cycle. First and foremost, I would like to thank Professor Varun, the chairperson's admissions, for his leadership, guidance, and constant support throughout the admission cycle. I would also like to thank my colleagues, Mr. Naveen, Ms. Surbi and her team at TAPME Bangalore, Ms. Jyoti, Ms. Reena, Ms. Shalit, for their constant support throughout this cycle. From reviewing thousands of applications, conducting numerous interviews, and addressing countless queries of parents and students, managing heavy load of documentation throughout the admission process, this has truly been a collaborative effort. Every batch has a story, and this year's story is both about growth and aspiring growth. For the IPM batch 2026, we received almost 4,334 applications, the highest in the program's history. From this competitive pool, we conducted almost 3,160 interviews. While the academic achievements were certainly important, our selection process was also focused on qualities such as communication skills, analytical abilities, curiosity, and the ability to contribute meaningful to the classrooms. Following this comprehensive evaluation, 64 students earned their place in this program. To every student here, congratulations. Your presence here is a testament to your hard work, determination, and your potential. Let's now take a closer look at this incoming cohort of IPM batch of 2026. We are pleased to have a healthy gender ratio of 46.88% male students and 53.12% female students joining us. The average age of this incoming cohort is about 18.3 years. Talking about the geographical diversity, the IPM batch represents almost 16 states pan-India, out of which almost 81% of the students come from the states of Telangana, Maharashtra, Karnataka, UP, Kerala, and Haryana. 50 students of these have completed their 12th board examination this year, while 14 students have joined after following different academic timelines. In terms of school boards, 42 of the students have completed their 12th from CBSE, while 8 from ISC, 13 from various state boards, and we have 1 student joining us from completing their studies in the US higher education curriculum. Each of these educational systems bring its own strength, creating a vibrant environment for peer learning and intellectual exchange. The academic accomplishments of this cohort are equally impressive. Among the incoming students, 44 scored above 90% in class 10th, while 35 of them scored above 90% in class 12th. These achievements reflect the years of discipline and perseverance. Before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to everyone who contributed to making the admission cycle a success. My heartfelt thanks to Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor Mahe MLHS and Mahe Bangalore, Director and Director's Office, Dean Administration and Associate Dean Administration and the admin team, Principal Officer, Student Acquisition and Marketing Mahe, UG Program Chair and Co-Chairperson and the UGP team, Branding Team Chairperson and the Co-Chairperson, IT Chairperson and the IT team, and the faculty and staff colleagues for their constant guidance and unwavering support throughout the admissions process. Finally, to our students and their families, thank you for placing your trust in TAPME. With this, the admissions office formally hands over the IPM batch of 2026 to the UG program office. The slide displayed here, of course, looks like a symbolic representation, but there's a lot of hard work, a lot of collaborative effort, and a lot of behind scenes that happens while we onboard our incoming students. Once again, to the IPM batch of 2026, welcome to India's one of the most beautiful campuses, where opportunity and ambition meet, and where we hope that you leave within the next 5 years, but you take away with you a lot of learning, a lot of discovery, friendships, and lasting memories. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Santushti Gupta. It's truly exciting to see such a vibrant cohort joining TAPME community today. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's now my absolute privilege and honor as chairperson of the Alumni Relations Committee to introduce our chief guest for today, an illustrious alumnus of TAPME from PGDM batch of 1998-2000. Please welcome Mr. Anirvan Sen, Executive Director, HR Business Partner for Technology and Group Functions for Asia Pacific at UBS. UBS is a premier global bank. UBS is a premier global bank and world's largest wealth manager, headquartered in Switzerland. UBS operates in over 50 countries, overseeing trillions of dollars in invested assets and employing tens and thousands of top-tier talent worldwide across wealth management, investment banking, and asset management. With over 26 years of distinguished professional experience, Mr. Sen is a business-focused global HR leader and strategic partner who has navigated high-growth, high-intensity corporate environments. His career spans premier industry giants, starting as an executive at Tata Finance, serving as assistant manager at Reliance Petroleum and deputy manager at Hutch Vodafone. He went on to spend 9 years as vice president of HR at Genpact, leading global people strategy, carve-out initiatives, and workforce transformation across geographies. In 2015, Mr. Sen joined UBS as a part of the initial core team setup team in Pune. As a very first HR professional hired by UBS in Pune, he spearheaded greenfield operations and led an extraordinary growth journey, scaling the center from ground zero to over 15,000 employees today. Mr. Sen's career embodies the very core values of TAPME: integrity, pursuit of excellence, resilience in greenfield innovation, and a deep commitment to human-centric responsible leadership. Mr. Sen is an alumnus of St. Xavier's Collegiate School, Jadavpur University. He is also certified Six Sigma Green Belt. And as a person, he believes that he's a private, easygoing person and an avid reader. He lives in Pune with his wife and his daughter, who is currently studying in class 11. And it's really a true homecoming. We are honored to have you back home at TAPME. Sir, I request Professor Debashish Pradhan, Director, to present a floral bouquet to Mr. Anirvan Sen. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to Mr. Anirvan Sen. Sir, over to you. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not used to giving these sort of addresses, so please bear with me. If it gets too much, then just raise your hands. We'll cut it short. Firstly, good morning, respected Director, sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Kidur, proud parents, and most importantly, the incoming batch beginning the 5-year journey in management. Coming back to TAPME after 26 years is far more emotional than I expected. Some campuses fade after you leave. A few stay with you long after you've forgotten your timetable, classroom routine, and even some of the subjects you once worried about. Are you still teaching MENAC 1 and OB? I ask that half in jest, but with real affection, because this institution stayed with me. Through my first job, promotions, disappointments, new cities, new teams, and the many moments when I had to ask myself who I was becoming. I was born and brought up in Kolkata, and I was the first generation in my family to study for an MBA. In 1998, I arrived here after a 48-hour journey, train journey, versus Chennai, because that was the only connection at that time, carrying a suitcase and a few ambitions, and a great deal of uncertainty. The induction program then was for only students, no parents. And it happened at the old TAPME campus, the photo that we saw a little while ago near Syndicate Bank. And like all of you, I had no prior work experience. I thought I'd come here for an education and, more importantly, for a good corporate job. That's why I was here. Looking back, I now know that TAPME gave me much more. It gave me habits. It taught me how to survive hostel life. And in many ways, it made a man out of a boy. It gave me friendships that have outlasted semesters, confidence before I fully believed that I had earned it, and a wider worldview than the one that I had arrived with from Kolkata. So before I offer any reflection or lessons, let me begin with gratitude. My sincere gratitude to TAPME, to the faculty, to the people who keep this place running, and to the batches before and after mine who have made this institution what it is. Thank you. Whatever I have gone on to do professionally, some part of it began here. For 26 years, I have worked in human resources. Titles have changed, businesses have changed, geographies changed, but what did not change was the privilege of having a front row seat to human ambition. HR, if you do it seriously, is not only about policies and organization charts. It is about watching who grows, who stalls, who earns trust, who loses it, and who recovers from failure. I have seen people with modest beginnings have extraordinary careers. I have seen people with tremendous intelligence quite not fulfill their promise. I've seen quiet, reliable people who've become indispensable. I've also seen charismatic people derail themselves through impatience, ego, or poor judgment. After all these years, I have come to believe that long careers are built less on brilliance alone and more on a few deeply human qualities. And that is what I want to speak to you about today. It's not about placements, packages, internships, grades, or job titles. Important as all of them are, but the person you become over the next 5 years. Let me offer you 5 reflections. These are not commandments, not lessons, but stuff that I wish somebody had explained to me when I was sitting where you are sitting down. Okay? So the first lesson, do not rush to become somebody. Use these years to become someone. When you enter a management institution, it is natural to think ahead. Internships, committees, specialization, companies, you have thousands of questions. Ask those questions. But don't let them become the only questions that you obsess about. Like the current generation says, don't give in to FOMO. Okay? These 5 years are not merely a runway to a career. They are a workshop for the professional you. These years will show you how you behave when your idea is rejected, when someone else is chosen over you, when you are praised, when you are ignored, and when work feels smaller than your ambition. I have news for you. These things happen very regularly in work life. Most students begin by wanting to be seen. Looking back, I think the deeper task is to become steady, reliable, quietly confident, ambitious, but without being entitled. And to become that person, you have to stay curious longer than everyone else. Early in my career, I thought successful professionals were the ones who always seemed certain. Over time, I have discovered that the best leaders are often the best learners. They ask questions without embarrassment. They do not protect their ego by pretending to know. They are willing to become beginners again. You are entering college as AI changes society at a frightening pace. Your relevance will not come only from knowing more facts. It will come from amplifying what I call is your HI, your human instinct. Your inquisitiveness, intuition, context, and ability to connect with people. This is exactly what Professor Kidur and we were discussing just before this. This campus can help you find that instinct. Read beyond your syllabus. Talk to people unlike yourself. If you're thinking about marketing, talk to the finance guys. If you're finance, talk to the HR guys. Usually nobody wants to talk to HR guys, but do it all the same, okay? Talk to people unlike yourself. Sit in conversations that stretch you. Learn to enjoy being corrected. So my lesson, do not ask yourself, how do I stand out here? Ask, who am I becoming here over the next 5 years? The second reflection, your reputation begins much before your career does. Many people assume that reputation begins on the first day of work. It does not. It begins much earlier and in small choices that nobody thinks are career defining. It begins in whether you do your share in group projects. I hope we are still doing group projects. Whether you exaggerate on your resume, whether you take credit too quickly, whether you keep your word, whether you respect people who have nothing obvious to offer you, and stay honest when the stakes seem very low. In my work, I have seen careers damaged less often by one dramatic failure and far more often by repeated small compromises. A person who learns to cut corners as a student often learns to cut more expensive corners later. Mr. Narayan Murthy of Infosys was the chief guest of convocation for PGP class of 99. When I was here in Manipal and I had the good fortune of listening to him in person. He said, and I quote, "The softest pillow is a clear conscience." That line has stayed with me because it is simple and it is true. Integrity first is not old-fashioned wisdom. It is hiring wisdom, it is leadership wisdom, and it is the only filter that has survived every era. So don't take your chances. Behave in small matters the way you hope to behave in large ones. Character does not suddenly happen at senior levels. It is rehearsed early and it compounds. The third reflection, learn to recover quickly and treat people well while you recover. No 5-year journey, especially a journey like what we saw in these presentations so far, worth taking will be smooth. You will not win every competition. You will not ace every test or get every role or internship you want. Sometimes somebody else will perform better than you. This is not proof that you are falling behind. It is part of growing up. One of the advantages of HR is that I see how differently people respond to setbacks. Some convert one disappointment into permanent self-doubt. Others are shaken, but then steadied by reflection. They ask, what happened? What can I learn? What is the next useful step? This last category is the one that goes the farthest. TAPME will give you a chance to build your muscle of resilience in a protected environment. Use the opportunity. It is far better to learn recovery and resilience on campus than to learn it for the first time at your workplace. People also notice how you behave when you are disappointed. Competence matters immensely, but professional memory is also emotional. People remember whether you listened, whether you made room for others, shared credit, gave criticism carefully, and made them feel respected. This matters on campus too for the next 5 years. The way you treat classmates, juniors, faculty, administrative staff, and support teams is not a side note. It is a clue to the manager, colleague, and leader you may become. So after every setback, resist what I see a lot in today's generation, resist drama. Ask what happened, what it taught you, and what you will do next. And in every team, leave behind 3 things: clarity, reliability, and respect. The fourth reflection, take ownership before you are given authority. There is a sentence that I hear in many forms. Nobody told me. Sometimes it is fair, but very often that's a habit. Organizations notice people who do not wait endlessly for permission to care. They notice people who step forward, prepare before being asked, and solve the problem in front of them rather than merely describe it well. I once needed a help in understanding how an HR process was run. I turned to a colleague much junior to me. He could have answered my questions and stopped there. Instead, he actually challenged the process design and explained how things could be simplified. That helped create change. That is ownership. It is a way of working. It means saying, I may not control everything here, but I will own my part fully. As you take ownership of problems, this campus is the perfect place to practice this kind of ownership. You do not need a title to be dependable, to improve something, or to act like your contribution matters. As you take ownership of problems around you, it helps you take ownership of your career and build judgment. Knowledge can be taught in classrooms, but judgment is built through exposure, reflection, and experience. That is why internships and projects matter. Not as brand labels, but as laboratories. Do not reduce them to a certificate, a logo, or a PPO. Ask, what problem did I help solve? What feedback did I receive? What changed because I was there? After every project or internship, do not just file it away. Reflect on why you did what you did and what decision would you make differently the next time if the situation changes. The fifth and final reflection is the one that I most want you to remember. It is, be useful before you are impressive. The world has enough people trying to look important very early. They want to sound polished, appear strategic, and signal potential. But durable careers usually belong to people who are useful. Useful people make things better. They reduce confusion, they prepare well, they notice what others miss, make life easier for teams, and earn trust before they ask for recognition. After passing out of TAPME, in my second job, I used to work for Reliance. One task given to me was to accompany senior candidates to the interviews with Mr. Meswani. You can Google him up. Who was executive director and Mr. Ambani's relative. So he was actually promoter group of Reliance. So imagine me, a TAPME pass out of barely 2 years experience, sitting with senior candidates who had far more experience than I did. They asked about the role that they were interviewing for, the strategy, what Mr. Meswani might look for. I wasn't prepared for all of these questions because nobody had told me that this will come. So I asked myself, how can I help this candidate be at their best? I listened carefully, answered what I could, and began sharing a short brief with Mr. Meswani before he entered the interviews. After about a week, his office began asking me for my perspective on candidates. And later I started sitting in on the interviews on his request. So no amount of book learning could have prepared me for that. But the lesson was clear. Usefulness creates trust, and trust creates opportunity. So in every room you enter, classroom, internship, first job, ask not only, how do I perform well here? Ask, how can I be useful here? Let me now say a word to the parents here. Today is your day too. Your children are beginning a life-defining journey, and I know many of you are sitting here with hope, pride, relief, and perhaps some anxiety. As someone who spent quarter of a century observing careers, let me offer you one reassuring thought. The most successful people I have known were rarely the most polished or finished product at 18 years. They just kept growing. So over the next 5 years, support not only achievement, but growth. Encourage effort and reflection, success and resilience. Give your children the room to make some mistakes, change their minds, outgrow first plans, and learn independence. Growth is not tidy. Often it does not look very impressive either while it is happening. Let me now turn to respected faculty members and management of TAPME. Thank you once again. Students often realize your influence much, much later than you deserve. A sentence from a professor can return 10 years later in a meeting room. A standard held firmly can shape a person's seriousness. I still remember the fines we paid. A timely encouragement can change confidence. I remember the mandatory ethics class in PGP1 taught by Professor Shekhar. Bless his soul, I don't think he's anymore. I remember one lecture and the anguish he showed when some of my friends were caught copying answers in a class assignment. And this was the ethics class. Okay. By the end of that class, we as a batch were ready to do whatever it took to redeem ourselves in his eyes and to give him hope that he was not wasting time with young people who had lost their way. The lesson has endured with me for a quarter of a century. I still remember that lecture. So let me now wind up. That is why coming back here today feels so meaningful. I don't return as a visitor. I return as evidence as to what this place can set in motion. Students, 5 years from now, you will leave here with a degree. But the degree will not be the whole story. You will also leave with a reputation, with habits, with friendships, with ways of thinking, with a relationship to work, ambition, failure, authority, other people, and yourself. My request to you, please build these relationships very, very carefully. Careers are built on competence, for sure. But meaningful careers are sustained by character, curiosity, resilience, judgment, integrity, and the ability to work with and through other people. 26 years ago, I could not have predicted the shape my life would take. What I can say now is that the most valuable thing I carried out of TAPME were not visible on a transcript. They were much quieter than that. They became part of me before I knew how to name them also. My wish for you is that when you return here many years from now, you do not speak only about the career you built. I hope you speak also about the person you became while building it. May you do very well. May you do honest work. May you stay curious. May you recover from disappointment without becoming bitter. May you be trusted. May you be steady. And may you be useful. And may you one day feel as I feel today, a deep gratitude for the place that helped you become more than what you understood when you first walked in through its gates. Thank you, and welcome to TAPME.
We say words of wisdom. Every single word that Mr. Anirvan Sen was telling here, I think every single individual in this hall would be able to resonate well with. But I think there is a need to reiterate again some of the points. Be someone, not somebody. Think ahead, ask questions, and don't give it to FOMO. How you behave in success and failures both are important. Be steady, reliable, confident, ambitious, and most importantly, without being entitled. And resist drama. In the world of AI, in the era of AI, human instinct is important, integrity is important, and it is extremely important to have the sense of ownership. And always ask, how can I be useful? Thank you so much, Mr. Anirvan Sen, for those words of wisdom. A loud round of applause, please. To shed light on the academic ecosystem, values, and expectations that define our institution, I would now like to invite our Dean Academics, Professor Gururaj Kidiyu, to address the audience. Over to you, sir.
This works? Distinguished Chief Guest, Anirvan Sen, respected Director, Professor Debasis Pradhan, Honorable Pro-Vice Chancellor, my faculty colleagues, the IPM batch of 2026-31, proud parents of the IPM batch of 2026-2031, very good morning to you all. You know, when I saw the student profile, I saw that most of you are above 90%. So obviously, this 90% cannot be earned without revising what you have studied. Am I right? So my talk is also going to be like a revision. Because a large part of what I am going to speak has already been spoken by our director and our chief guest. Incidentally, he mentioned, the chief guest mentioned about having paid a lot of fines when he was here. I remember his batch was called as the finest batch. First of all, to the batch, incoming batch, my congratulations for making it to TAPME. I'm very happy that you are here. I'm really very happy that you are here. Because the question after 12th is, what next? And you could have gone anywhere. So there is engineering, there is medicine, commerce, art, science, then there is law, and you have pharmacy, management, and you chose management. And in management, again, there are choices, right? You have a 3-year program, a 3-year BBA, and you chose the 5-year IPM. And there again, you have choices. You have half a dozen IIMs, which are offering this IPM, and you have half a dozen non-IIMs. And you chose TAPME. So good job. That's why I said I'm very happy. So having said that, I would also like to mention why TAPME is the best choice for you. Number one, we have more than 4 decades of experience in management education, to be precise 46 years and 42 years in offering degrees. So we began management education when there was no demand for actually MBA. It was pre-liberalization days. The requirement for managerial skill in Indian industry picked up after liberalization, after 1990. We started this program mainly because we felt that India requires managerial talent. It is not that we saw an opportunity, we saw a gap and we wanted to fill that. So we have been in this journey for more than 40 years now. So the first thing is that I believe we know what management education is. And the testimony for that is our extremely successful programs. So we have our core MBA program. Our MBA BKFS is very sought after. Our MBA marketing is very sought after. MBA HR is sought after. Whatever we have taken up in this field, we have been able to ensure that it has added value to the society and to the students. And that is the reason we are where we are. And look at the IPM program. We had about how many? 4,334 applications. And I just did the ratio, 64 students or 66 students. That means that each one of you have denied opportunity to 65 other candidates. Second thing is we are part of MAHE, which is an institute of eminence. Right? This status itself, it is not what we are calling it as Institute of Eminence. This is accorded by the Government of India, that it's an Institute of Eminence, and very few have this privilege. And you may be also aware, some of you, it is ranked as the third best university in India in the NIRF rankings. The first one I think is IISc, second one I think is Zipper, third one is Mahim. So tremendous experience in providing quality education. The third is that we are internationally accredited. Our director spoke about WACSB and AMBA, and he also spoke about our aspirations to go for the third one, which is EQUIS. See, these international accreditations are not very easy. We have to meet certain very stringent standards in research, in our academic delivery, in our institutional processes, in our faculty composition, and in our student composition. It's a mark of quality. So it speaks for our processes, it speaks for our vision, our strategy, everything. The biggest advantage to you is you go outside India anywhere and you say that you are from a WACSB school or AMBA school. It is understood that you have done your education in a very quality-oriented institute. But again, you have come to tap me, right? The question is back to square and what next? Right? Yeah. So let's talk about your first 3 years at TAPME. Because when you enter MBA, again, I'll be speaking to you during the induction day. So, yeah. So why are you here? You are here for education. Is there any doubt? Is there any? You all agree? Yes? Yes. Now, our philosophy of education is it is not just a marks card with 70% marks. So the chief guest said that he went out of TAPME with more than the transcript, right? So MBA is not just about package and profile. This is the revision part, which he has, and believe me, we did not discuss what we are going to speak, right? Yeah. The kind of learning or studies we are used to till now is different. No, you had your exams, probably people who just want to scrape through, study for 1 week, people who want to do 60% study for 2 weeks, and people who want to excel, go above 90, do a little more than that. But end of the day, when you come out, what is it that you have retained? What is it that you have internalized? That is very important, right? Because when you come out after 5 years, the industry will not look at your marks card. It will look at what you have in you. What is it that you can do? So it's extremely important to realize that you are learning here, education here is bringing a change within yourself. So what is the kind of change we are talking about? 3 dimensions. One is that you will know new things. Especially management is a very interesting field. It derives subjects from so many different streams, right? So on one hand you will be studying HR, another hand you will be also studying marketing, right? And somewhere you will have statistics, somewhere you will have economics. You will also acquire new skills inside the classroom, outside the classroom, right? And then you will develop new perspectives. New perspectives. How do I see myself? How do I see the world? How do I see others? How do I connect with others, right? The new way of looking at. How do we do this? How does TAPME ensure that this happens? First things first, we have clearly defined learning goals. We know at the end of this 5 years, what is it that a graduate of TAPME should be able to do? And we are saying that, okay, there are 6 main things. One is application of whatever you have learned, problem-solving capabilities, integrative thinking, right? You are able to connect things and make sense out of it. Communication, written, oral, good communication is extremely important. Integrity, looking at being sensitive to ethical issues and also assuming leadership. That's where, I've said epicell, application, problem solving, then integrative thinking, communication, ethics and leadership. And on each subject, you are assessed along these lines. What's in it for you? We are on a journey of continuous improvement. The end of cycle, we see that whether this has been achieved or no. If it has not been achieved, what is it that we need to do? Do we need to change the content? Do we need to change the pedagogy? Do we need to change something? Do we need to change the assessment? The bottom line is we are getting better and better every year. And that is the reason our students get the best. The second one is faculty is at the helm, meaning that here, the faculty members are the one who conceive, design, deliver, evaluate the course. So they know what has happened in the classroom and they know what is the best way of assessing you. All right? So the advantage here is that there is nobody else sitting somewhere else making a question paper for you. It's your own faculty who was with you in the class for so many years who did it. So what's in it for you? First thing is that the curriculum is updated. You get the cutting edge. Second thing is there is absolute clarity in what you have studied and what you are going to be assessed on. And also there is 100% fairness in the assessment. Third, learning by doing and being. What it means. Okay, you have sessions like this where someone stands and speaks, but you will see that most of the sessions may not be like this. Most of the sessions are the one where you are required to do something and it will increase as you go along. Probably in first year you have a lot of foundational courses where most of the faculty will speak and deliver knowledge. But later as you progress into this journey, you will see that you are being put at the center of learning, right? The chief guest spoke about internships and projects as opportunities where you can learn. We give a lot of opportunities. The faculty uses a lot of cases, real life cases, right? Especially as you go to your fourth year and third year, fourth year and fifth year, you will see increasingly that you are left to do something, reflect on the results of what you have done and make sense out of it. So you are at the center of learning, which I was mentioning. And you are being challenged on your belief, something which you thought that it's always right. You could be challenged on the belief that the faculty is always right. That also may be challenged here, right? And learning is fun. So you are learning by doing something, right? Not sitting here and listening. And it stays with you. Because when you do something, to give you an example, 100 times your parents may have told you, don't touch fire when you were a small baby. Right, but you did not remember it. Once you touched it, then you will never touch it, right? That is the kind of learning we intend to give you. No, we will not ask you to touch fire. That's it, yeah. So academic rigor, you can expect a lot of academic rigor. This is a word which is used, I would like to explain what it means, right? We go deeper rather than the breadth, that is one. And we also expect each one of you to be very active in the class, contribute, right, participate. So your peers learn from you and probably we can also learn from you a lot of things, right? And there will be a lot of outside classroom work where you will have to work with others in groups. So what's in it for you? One is that you are continuously engaged in the program, right? And you go beyond what is taught. For example, when you work in teams, right, you probably realize, yeah, there are different types of views, there are different types of perspectives, right? There is a lot of ambiguity, you are comfortable. That's a new learning which is not there in your curriculum. This is what I was saying, going beyond the curriculum, right? Yeah. And then it also gives you, a lot of opportunity to do something on your own, come up with something on your own, creativity, right? You saw that video which was put up. It was made by LIME, which is Literary Committee of TAPME. Students did it, right? And then emphasis on soft skills, which is a lot of group work and working in teams, which I mentioned. Opportunities for external engagement, right? We give you a lot of opportunities to interact with the corporate world, interact with our alumni, right? So therein, you will learn how to speak to somebody who is external to the institute, how to speak to someone who's very, very senior in the corporate, right? How to speak to someone who's an alum of this institute, right? And then there will be tons of presentations that you need to make in the class. So you develop a better temperament. I was mentioning tolerance to different viewpoints and respect for others and their viewpoints. Very, very important, right? But it is not easy. You are getting into an area where, you will see new methods of learning, new methods of assessment also. So there is something called as continuous assessment. So you will have a lot of episodes where your learning is being tested. So there will be quizzes, there will be surprise quizzes. Most of them will be surprise quizzes. And a new type of curriculum. So a new type of class composition also. You saw, no? For example, you have students from 16 different states, right? Yeah. And everyone is living outside the homes for the first time, I guess, right? Yeah. So there are a lot of doubts. Am I up to it? Yes? Yes or no? Don't worry. Yeah, you are all up to it, right? The moment I saw that, you are the cream. 4,334 and 64 are here, right? Yeah. You have come through a time-tested admission process, right? You wrote the entrance exam, you gave the interview, right? You are all capable enough to adapt and excel. You need to believe in yourselves. Second thing, we have been in this business for 4 decades and we know in and out of management education. We know more than that also. We know the kind of concerns you will have staying away from home, right? So some of you, when you came here in the morning, the rains may have, right, undeterred you, right? We know that it keeps happening. And then you are in a place where academic ecosystem is excellent. If you look at the faculty, the director was saying, most of our faculty are PhD holders, extensively involved in research. They bring it to the classroom, which is the cutting edge, the latest in research, right? If you look at the infrastructure here, I'm not only talking about the buildings, the academic infrastructure. You go and visit our library, it's one of the finest in India. We have all the databases. And then a lot of opportunities for you to engage with outside agencies and guidance. But beware, there will be a lot of distractions. This is a temptation that you have to handle. It will probably not work. Old habits of study, right? Yeah. So, you see, I have my colleagues who will share their PPTs if you ask, but they will not ask anything from the PPT in the exam. Then, there are a lot of events keep happening, right? So there are, what do you say, anniversaries, engagements, weddings, this, that, all those things. But keep one thing in mind. This event of your MBA is going to happen only once in your lifetime. It's not like a birthday which comes every year. No? So you need to have your priorities. I hope you understand, right? Yeah. And then homesickness, it will be there, right? But I also remember one word he said, that this should make a man out of you, right? Yeah. Average age is 18.33. So you can vote, so you can manage on your own. Then you have your friends and roomies, right? There can be some influence there. So, and of course this social media, right? So the thing is, you must be very clear how much time you would like to. I know that it's an excellent source of information, but it cannot build you. It cannot make you. This program will make you. This will decide ultimately where you are going to be, what are you going to be. Not that. So avoid the disturbance around and set your priorities right. Like, this old warrior, when his guru asked him, what do you see? He said, I only see the bird of the eye, nothing else, because that was his target. So stay focused. What we believe in as an institute, director also mentioned it, that's why I said it's a repetition, excellence. So how do we achieve excellence? We benchmark ourselves against the best in class. We would like to do everything right the first time, so our benchmarks are the best, right? We also believe in trust, right? Director has already explained it. Honesty, if we are able to do something, we'll say we will do. If we are not able to do something, we'll say we will not be able to do. We are very, 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 very open. But since these are what we believe in, who are we? It is not TAPME, the faculty. It is all our students, all our alums. We expect the reciprocity here. We also want you to be very honest in your dealings. If there's a problem, come and tell us. We'll try to solve it. Right? Yeah. We also believe in being innovative, doing things differently in a new way, improvisation, continuous improvisation, and commitment is something which we take up something, we stay committed to. We put our head on the anvil there, right? And we are students. Everything we do is built around the students. I told you that it is the faculty who are at the helm of affairs, right? So when they think of a subject, they first put the student. Given this is the student, what content should I have? What pedagogy should I have? How the course should be delivered? How I should evaluate? Everything starts with the student. That's the meaning of being student-centric. What we look for, maturity, right? Maturity, especially in, in taking aggression and also handling your own aggression. Politeness. With the word around you, it's outside the campus also. Let me also tell you, this place has 100% literacy. You will see most of the people here can speak English and other things, and with this 100% literacy comes a reasonably high level of self-esteem. So I would want you to be very, very mindful how you speak to people outside, even the auto driver or a cop who may stop you, right? Yeah, this place has a different culture altogether, right? Yeah. And this is also something very important. The lesson has already been communicated by the chief guest. He spoke about the Professor R.C. Sekhar and the copying incident, right? And how one lecture changed him. So I believe that you will not give us an opportunity to deliver such a lecture. Of course, you are all young. It goes without saying. We have found that, as we look at younger and younger people, their creativity tends to be more, right? So we don't want you to get yourself conditioned, right? Don't get bogged down by all these things. Keep your ideas flowing. And this is something which ability to take stretch. Normally, good B schools are 24/7 schools, all right? You want industry people to come and talk to you, yes or no? Yes? Yeah. They can come only on weekends. They'll say that, Professor, you want me to come to Manipal or address your students? Why not on a Saturday or a Sunday morning, right? And when we call these industry people to come here in groups, most of the times it is weekends, right? So a little stretch in terms of the schedules, in terms of your work, it has to be there. Come up with your propositions, but let it be very, very logical, right? See, the thing is, you can't come and ask us that, sir, it's raining so much, what can you do? Sir, do something. We can't do much, right? Yeah. And end-to-end management of whatever you take up, we will give you a lot of opportunities to carry on activities. You take up something, take it to the logical end, right? Not giving up in the middle. And finally, when you come with problems to us, you can always come to us with problems, but come with alternatives. Saying, sir, this is a problem, and I believe, sir, we can do this, this, or this. Tell us which is the best one. That is something which we appreciate, right? Rather than just coming and saying, sir, this is a problem, sort it out. Remember, you chose to be here. Of course, we are very happy you are here. No doubt about it. Prepare yourself for the big journey ahead. What is the big journey? The MBA after 3 years, and then a rewarding career of not less than 30 years after 5 years. Keep this in mind. That should be your goal. Best of luck, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Gururaj Kidiyur, for giving our young minds a clear perspective on the academic journey ahead. Professor Kidiyur said that it is a revision, so it's still not the end of it. Let's go for a deep dive to dive deeply to the structure and milestones of 5-year IPM program. I request Professor Manoj Kumar Yadav chairperson of IPM, to present the program highlights, overview, and the academic guidelines. Over to you, Professor Manoj.
Distinguished chief guest, the director, Dean Academics, Professor Gururaj Kidiyor, parents, my colleagues, and dear students. First of all, thank you very much and welcome on board the IPM batch 26-2031, right? How many of you, may I have a question before I start? How many of you attended the webinar that I conducted? All right, so thank you for raising your hand. I will not be looking at you when I'm taking you through this presentation because in certain ways there would be some repetitions there. So that's about the overview. The other thing that I was asked to discuss is guideline. I don't know in the world where Mr. Anirvan Sain sir exists, where the director and the dean exist, and generative AI exists, how much of my guideline would be a new guideline given to you, but nevertheless, I'll try. To start with, let me deep dive into this IPM structure itself, right? We all understand that traditionally there has been a pathway to reach out to your MBA, which is probably an undergraduation. And in case you have already decided that you want to pursue your career in management, then BBA, correct? And then your another hustle to secure your MBA seat into another MBA program, correct? Then there is something called as this traditional integrated program, and call it traditional integrated program because there are universities which had been offering integrated IPM program, but we all know that the batch continues to remain the same, right, for the entire 5 years, which means your colleague today would remain your colleague and the only colleague in the 4th and the 5th year of your study program as well, right? So that's the idea of some of these integrated programs in some of the universities and how it started. And we all know we have this third structure, which obviously initially pioneered by IIM Indore, right, which suggested and obviously some of the IPM Institute, as Professor Gururaj Kidiyor ended up mentioning, the number of options you had, right, which offers this third traditional pathway. If you actually start searching among the top 50 NIRF ranking institute, this third structure offered to you is actually less than 10, not even half a dozen, not even a dozen as Professor Kidiyor was telling you. So now, again, I'm not saying that one of this is superior to the other, right? But I just want to talk about how distinct or what is the distinctive quality of the IPM structure that you have chosen, right? So one of the very important aspects, as you see, is that this entire wall of your world and others' world, which is having an integrated program journey where your batch remains separate to the actual MBA cohort that the specific organization might have to offer, right? Here, you are built for the first 3 years to get acclimatized and therefore easy transition to the final year where you have people, where you're joining the original MBA cohort, the MBA cohort for which that organization was known for, or ideally, right? So it is integrated by content in a sense that you are taught all those things, you are right, that prepares you to sit into the MBA classroom, and once you are there, you are sharing the classroom, right? It's an integrated curriculum. You all go through common experiences and real-world exposure. Imagine you're sitting in an MBA classroom, right? And you have not only people with your background, but also somebody who is coming from industry, has 2 to 3 years of experience, right? There is also people coming from different domain, say an engineering domain, right, or a commerce domain, or an arts domain, also discussing things probably on a marketing question or a marketing assignment or an accounting discussion with you in the same classroom. And we were all talking about this diverse perspective. This is exactly what this platform brings to you, right? As I keep saying that it's not one of them is superior, right? Our institute itself offers a BBA degree program, correct? But think about, and when I say that, think about a situation. Had there not been a separate MBA cohort, this very structure of IPM that we are talking about will not exist, isn't it? Correct? The very thing that we are talking about in terms of, getting people from different domain being part of your cohort, that will not exist if a separate domain, people are not getting qualified, getting a degree in a separate management domain, right? What I'm trying to emphasize here is where exactly your course is distinct to others, okay? And therefore, probably it also helps me in setting the expectations, correct, for all of you. So our integrated program in management will end up giving you 2 degrees, BBA and MBA, right? But 1 developmental journey. You may get 2 degrees, but remember it's 1 developmental journey. Which suggests that there would be a seamless progression from your undergraduate to postgraduate management education. Let me talk about the very first batch of our IPM when they entered here in 2023. Many of them were young, curious, and motivated like you all. I hope you are all curious, motivated, yeah, okay? And probably they were also wondering, am I going to stay for the entire 5 years, right? And obviously, many of them started thinking of preparing for the CAT, right? And them doing anything wrong. At that point of time, 2023, we as an institute were ranked at around 58, right? Which suggests that theoretically they had 57 possible options for their MBA degree, right? In case they chose not to stay, correct? But by the time they started preparing for their MBA, right, which is previous year, 2025, we quietly, without them knowing, reduced their theoretically 57 possible chances to 38 because we improved on our ranking, okay? I'm not saying that we derive sadistic pleasure in reducing your options, but we will try our level best to further reduce your option in the next 2 years to come. Having said that, I'm not saying that's not our objective, reducing your option, okay? Our objective was to ensure that TAPME becomes that compelling place for you, where you would yourself want to stay, right? And in that process, maybe let's promise to each other that you would try your level best to become the better student, and we will try our level best to become a better institution, right? And for sure, if we both try together, your options will reduce, right? Apart from that, we have, there's been revision, discussion, we aligned with our ICSB AMBA quality standard, even in our IPM programs. This is the journey that you will go through during the first 3 years, wherein the first year your major focus would be on perspective building, wherein you get foundation courses in social sciences and humanities. And then that will culminate into, or we consider that will make you prepare, better understand and absorb the core management foundations in second year, right? And obviously, that's how your journey will progress to advanced electives and strategic thinking in the third year. And if you see, one of the things that you will observe in these 3-year journey, this emphasis on analytics would be around all the 3 years. Right? It may start with the basics, for example, courses like mathematics, statistics, 2 courses in business analytics, right? And then advanced programming and analytics coming together in your third year. So that's the perspective, that's the journey for the first 3 years. And to learn more, rather than listening from me, let's listen it out to our first batch, who has seamlessly progressed to the first year MBA program, right? What they think about this 3 years journey.
I'm Tarun Arjun. I'm from Chennai, and I'm an IPM student. To be specific, the first batch of IPM student here. Currently, I have transitioned to the first year of my MBA, and it has been 3 weeks now. It's all fun.
So my name is Avinav. I'm a fourth year IPM student and I'm from Delhi.
I'm Yogendra Sai. I joined TAPME as the first cohort of IPM.
My name is Ayush Saxena and I'm part of the IPM batch 2023-28.
One thing that I found here specifically is that the quality of faculty and how approachable they are is top notch. Because there were case studies, there were simulations, running for 8 to 10 days. And the way we think there and the way we approach cases as compared to a normal lecture is something that really expanded the way I could think. Or, I considered a lot more things that I wouldn't have had it been a normal lecture run to us.
All the stakeholders in TAPME, especially if I talk about the faculties and seniors, are really approachable. Like, you can reach out to them about anything. Especially I can say you that with guarantee, because when we came into campus, we were the junior most people, new to everybody who is doing PG. But as soon as we approach any senior or any faculty with any idea, any problem that we want to work around, they were really appreciative about it. They would give us a time slot or whenever they are free, and they would take out time for us and actually help us build something.
Being an IPM student, it is more of an advantage because the subject which we studied and the industry exposure that we got while the 3 years of IPM has really shaped our skills in a way that is helping me in my MBA journey. Although it's a bit hectic, but because we have been in the system from last 3 years, so this has kind of helped me to adjust to the environment.
One of the major things that was a good learning experience for us was access to the Bloomberg lab. So in our third year, we had the opportunity to create our Bloomberg IDs and watch the terminals up close, what is happening. We were taught by Bloomberg champions as well as Professor Krishna Prasad.
Apart from academics as well, we had much more things to do in extracurriculars. We went to a trek in Netravati Peak. It was one of the most amazing life-changing experiences that we all had. It was a one-day trip. It was tiring, exhausting. We kept, encouraging ourselves, boosting ourselves, and that's where we made a lot more friendships.
One of the highlights of the years was the speed event, which is conducted by the Sportscom. So in which it's basically all the sections of MBA core, HRM, as well as the IPM batch was also, they also participated for the first time. So it was a very different kind of dynamics because we were juniors and junior as in an undergrad batch, and they were all postgraduate students. And we won speed consecutively for 2 years, the IPM 23-28 batch.
So apart from this, remember Mr. Tharun talking about how they were the first batch of IPM, right, at TAPME. I believe you all can also say to yourself that you're going to be the first batch of IPM which entered into the system, entered into a trimester system, right? However, before I move ahead, the little hard part of it, how will you unlock your MBA phase, right? There are 3 criteria for you that you should remember. This will be, reinforced again and again by me and other faculties wherever they meet you. But the idea is that there would be total 180 credits for you to earn in the next 3 years, and you're supposed to complete all these 180 credits in 3 years only, right? You should have also obtained in the process a minimum of 6.5 CGPA and should have not involved in any kind of disciplinary conduct. Okay, so these are the 3 major rules. I'll say the 3 Maha Mantras that you should have in your head during the entire process. But in case if it is increasing your anxiety in any ways, this is how our batch has performed over the last 3 years. Okay, I'm giving you the average of top 6 students and also the class average. And in case you still have an anxiety, what if I fall below the average? Okay, this is how our bottom 10 students have performed. Okay, so I don't see much issue in case you regularly perform, right? And you do what you are advised to do. As simple as that. Okay. To further bring down your anxieties and depressions, let's talk about what other than academics, IPM students specifically have gone through. the last part, guideline, right? As I said, I don't know what to guide, but what I would suggest is you focus on developing your managerial capability. And for you to develop your managerial capability, apart from all the amenities, infrastructure, faculty interactions you will have, right? You will also have to think beyond what is going to come in the exam, right? Instead, you have to start thinking about how can I use that knowledge. And believe me, if you start thinking in that way, you will also see this exam is getting covered in itself. Because if it is useful, it has to be part of exam, isn't it? Right? So think beyond exam, right? Similarly, rather than thinking about how much I should score, I would suggest think what you actually learn, right? Or if I am be able to finish the assignment, think why this happens in organizations, right? What should I memorize? Rather than that, how are these ideas connected to each other, okay? It's like, I'm putting the old wine in a new bottle. You've heard it from the people before me, but more or less towards the end, rather than looking at good CGPA, as I said, focus on building your managerial capability, right? A small word to the parents here. These are adults. You're sending an adult student, right? I'm no one to give you any advice. I have just a 3-year-old kid at my home, right? You have an experience of handling them for 18 years, right? So therefore, no guideline from my end. Idea is that you already know the process, the grill that they have gone through to reach here. Believe in them. And therefore, and if you start believing them, some of your anxiety will also come down, right? That's the idea. You send them to a good institute, we'll take care of them, right? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Manoj Kumar Yadav, for that comprehensive roadmap of the IPM journey. Now I request Director and Dean Academics, Professor Gurraj Kidiyur, to present a memento to our chief guest, Mr. Anirvan, as a token of gratitude and love. Thank you, professors. As we bring the morning inaugural session to a close, I would like to invite Professor Ritu Gupta, Chairperson UG Program, to extend the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. It's my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks today. An event of this extent is not possible without the efforts and support of the number of people. Therefore, it is important to thank everybody who made this special day possible. At the outset, I thank our chief guest, Mr. Anirvan, Executive Director, HR at UBS, for his presence and my inviting address. Thank you, sir. The path of progress of any organization is driven by the leaders who envision a great future and work tirelessly towards it. I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Ramdas M. Pai, Chancellor, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Mahe, Dr. Ranjan Pai, President, Mahe, Dr. H.S. Ballal, Pro Vice Chancellor, Mahe, Dr. Sharad Rao Kumar Rao, Vice Chancellor, Mahe, and other governing council members of Mahe for their guidance and support, which has enabled all of us to perform better every day. We thank Pro Vice Chancellors of Mahe, Dr. Madhuvi Raghavan, Pro Vice Chancellor, MLHS and Mahe Bangalore, and Registrar of Mahe, Dr. P. Giridhar Kini, for their support and guidance. Sincere thanks to Director TAPME, Dr. Debashish Pradhan, for his constant guidance and support. Thank you, sir. We appreciate and express our gratitude to the parents and families for trusting TAPME and taking out time to be here with us today. We wish you all the pleasant stay in Manipal. A special thank you to all the faculty colleagues for being part of the induction process and providing all the constant support. The support started at TAPME is the reason for the retentive services that we receive at TAPME. Our heartfelt thanks to all the staff members of TAPME for their unparalleled commitment and support. A special mention to the staff of Program Office, Director Office, and State and Logistic, IT, Branding, PR, Accounts team, and Admissions team. Heartfelt thanks to all the officials and administrative staff of MAHE as well for their support. A special mention Director General Services, Director Media and PR, Director IT and Digital, Director Finance, Director Purchase, and their respective teams for their excellent support. Sincere thanks to Dean Academics, Dean Admin, Associate Dean Academics, and Associate Dean Admin for their kindness, constant support, and guidance. A special word of appreciation goes to our friends and supporters from media. A special thanks to the Alumni Relations Committee, Student Executive Committee, Literary and Media Committee, and Welfare Committee for helping us with the arrangements. Our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Anirvan KV for hosting the event. Thank you. Last but not the least, a very big thank you to all the incoming IPM batch for becoming a part of TAPME family. So once again, congratulations to all of you to making it TAPME and wish you a wonderful stay here in Manipal. All the best. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ritu Gupta. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the inaugural session of IPM Induction 2026. We will now go for a break, but the lunch would start at 1 p.m. Right in front of the building, the entrance, next to the reception lounge. Meanwhile, you will have close to 45 minutes to just walk through the campus and see the campus. And I request to reassemble back here in Seminar Hall at 2:30 p.m. sharp, because we have the afternoon orientation sessions. Thank you so much.